Boom, I'm in the room. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching or listening from. Now, welcome. You're here because there's nothing on the telly. And I'm here at the old Heale Manor. And I'm your host, Lord Heale. Now, today, what we're going to talk about is improving your mental well-being. Ways of improving your mental well-being. Oh, stay tuned. Now, you know this is all about stigma, taking it out of mental well-being, taking it out of mental health. Well, I'm always looking for guests to come and tell their stories. But today is all about ways to improve your mental well-being. Now, if you was watching the little trailers coming in, one way of improving your mental well-being is to have a pet. Now, we're lucky. Now, I've got Artie the ship's cat. He's very famous, by the way. Apparently, as the story goes, he was saved from the waves. The story goes we were sailing around the UK and we're coming from Inverness and we were going to do one hit down to Gosport, 630 miles. We set off, we were sailing really good. The weather was lousy, to say the least. It was wet and windy, basically. We had a northerly, which was great. Going into the third night, it had been drizzly and all horrible all day. So we put the donkey on to charge the batteries up a bit. And we was about 6 or 7 miles off of Scarborough. And we picked up a line of lobster pots. Now, we were literally just off the shipping lane. So we called into the Coast Guard. Oh, we'll send out a lifeboat. So they sent out one of the big Atlantic class lifeboats with all the lights on and everything. Guy jumps off onto our boat. He said, "Hi, I'm Paul, T2 sugars." Oh, ship's cat. Got his life jacket on and everything. Well, that's how the story unfolded. So he ended up being on the local news and radio, and then he's got a sort of 7 or 8 page spread in the Royal National Lifeboats Institute's yearbook for 2022. So if you see a copy of that knocking around, Saved from the Waves, have a read about Artie's exploits being saved. But he's a great cat. He's a British Shorthair. He's a big old boy. He weighs around about 7 kilos-ish. And, yeah, they got their own character. He's not a lap cat. He's not one of these lap cats. He'll come and sit by you, won't sit on you, and everything's on his terms. But he's such a joy to have. He really is. And then Lady Heale, she's got Hudson Hill, the Hound of Heale Manor. Now, he's a little border terrier, and he's a lap dog. In fact, he'll sit all over you. He'll sit on your head. He makes it known what he wants. And typical dog, all he's interested in is his stomach. It's driven by food. But having pets is one way of keeping you sane, giving you that purpose to get up in the morning. Well, with Artie the ship's cat, you don't get a choice. Come daybreak, he's there, pounding you on the head. Come on, feed me. So, and of course, dogs, you always need to get out and take them for a walk because they need their exercise. And that's another good way of looking after your mental well-being. Keep yourself reasonably fit. Making yourself go out and have a walk or a run if you feel like it. My running days are over. I'll just put that out there now. underneath his gorgeous exterior. There's an absolute train wreck going on. But that's a whole different story in itself. So those are good ways of keeping yourself, your mental well-being. Keep yourself physically fit. Just make yourself go for a walk. Go for a bit of exercise. It's a really good way of keeping the body in good shape to help the mind in good shape. The other things that you can do, find yourself a really good hobby. Now, I've covered some of my issues before. I mean, I've got tinnitus you couldn't believe. If you imagine going into somewhere like a nightclub, a really noisy environment, for a couple of hours and you come out and your ears are ringing, that's what it's like for me 24/7. There's no abatement from it at all. And it does drive you nuts at times. It's the worst, one of the worst things you can have is tinnitus. It really is bad. But like doing these podcasts, it kind of helps take your mind off of it, distract yourself from that noise. So that's another good way. It's find a really good hobby. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing the live streams. I enjoy talking about mental well-being, taking the stigma out of it. Seen an awful lot of mental unwellness. Let's put it that way. Mental illness. It affects different people in different ways. But the best way to combat it is to find something to do. Now, I've got a few hobbies. I used to absolutely love going skiing. I telemark ski, which is slightly different to alpine skiing. Although we're skiing on the same slopes, our turning technique is different. And we can go just as fast as the guys on the planks. We just have a different turning technique. That's all there is to it. But our racing is a lot different. We do it on the same courses, on a GS course, but we add in a few bits of fun. There's a jump you've got to go over and clear. There's a 360 degree wrap you have to go round. And then there's a skate section at the end of it. And by the time you get down to the bottom, especially on the classic, you're actually sort of hanging out. So I've done that for a lot of years, and I love skiing. If I could go skiing every year, I would. Unfortunately, this old carcass of mine isn't helping. I'm riddled with the old rheumatoid arthritis, and I'm going for a new treatment for that. So the other thing I like to do is my motorbike. Motorbikes. I've got two of them at the moment. I've got the old BSA 175D7 Bantam. That's been some fun. And I've just picked up last week, the end of May, the brand spanking new Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. It's all mine. By the time you're watching this, I should be on my way back from my big tour. So I'm hoping the old carcass will be able to stand up to it. I should be taking a lot of pills. But we'll get round. It's having that to do. Looking forward to something. I've been looking forward to this, planning this trip for a long time. It's another riding through history. We're starting off at the beaches in Normandy, and then we're coming across then to Compiègne. We're going down to do the B500, which is a classic riding road, down to another classic riding road, the Grimsel and the Furka passes. And then we're coming up over to Munich, and we're going to be looking at some of the Nazi memorabilia around, or the sites where the Nazi Party held its rallies and that sort of thing around Munich, going to the Hofbrauhaus, and some of that. And then we're going down to Berchtesgaden and the Eagle's Nest and doing the Großglockner. God, I'm looking forward to that. The last time I went down to the Großglockner, we got to that Payage bit and they just closed it because it was snowing on the top. So I had to come all the way back down again, go through the next valley, through on a train. Never mind. And then I'm going on to Nuremberg. From there I'm going to Pilsen, Prague, Sangin, Staloglofrey, dun 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 dun. Bit of that, dun 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 dun. Yeah. And then going on from there up to Berlin, Bergen-Belsen, and then Copenhagen, and then Overloon, and a few other places on the way back. And I'm going to be videoing it. So that's going to give me... Oh! Didn't need that. I'll have to edit that bit out. So, there you have it. That's what it's all about. So, finding stuff that you like to do takes you to a good place. Try not to take yourself to bad places. Try not to excessively drink, because drink brings on some dark things. Particularly if I drink dark rum as opposed to spiced rum. That has an effect on my mental well-being, trust me. So the upshot of it all is find a hobby. Find something that you want to do. Find something that gives you joy. And in turn, that aids your mental well-being. And that's the bottom line of it. Keep yourself physically fit. If you've got the opportunity to have pets, get yourself a hobby that takes your mind off to a good place. And there you go. That's my tips for staying sane. So until the next one, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give us the old thumbs up, because it doesn't cost nothing. It's just a click. It's so nice to have comments. People comment on what I'm doing. It's really nice. And subscribing to the channel, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. And that's another thing that helps my mental well-being. When people engage. Talk of engaging, I'm always looking for guests to come on the show. Whether particularly English guests or UK guests, to come and talk about their journeys. So until the next one, thanks for indulging. TTFN. Ta-da for now.